I'm a little off kilter today. It's just I can't see my thing going. That's why. Okay, anyway, we're gonna start. All right, hi everybody. Welcome to Game Latte's live chat number 4. So today I have a few things I wanted to talk about, and then if it's really short, I think I'm gonna play some Skyrim a little bit, and I started a new Skyrim game, so you'll get to see a little bit of the beginning of that, and I'll get into why I started a new Skyrim game a little later. Well, if you even get into that. But anyway, so today what I'm drinking is a soda. I've got Jones root beer. I don't, you don't have coffee. I know, right? This is a latte vidcast, and I'm not actually drinking anything coffee related in a while. I do have a new recipe that with chai spices, but I will talk. I think I'll bring that in next week's vidcast. Okay, I'm just thirsty. Now, I think I'm gonna change the vidcast date. I was gonna go for Mondays. However, Tuesdays is my one regular day off that I'm along with Sunday that I think I'm always going to have at least for a good long while, hopefully. I'm hoping. If it's not going to be Tuesday, it'll be Saturday, but I doubt I'll get Saturdays off all the time. Would be very lucky if I did, so it's not going to happen. So 2 days off for sure. So what I'm going to do is at this time, this is when I'll start the vid chat from now on every Tuesday, weekly. No, I haven't. Hi, Tiger. I have not. Blah. I get so distracted easily when I do these. Honestly, I'm like a cat, like shiny. But what was I gonna say? Tiger Hawk, you totally distracted me. That's okay. Nice to see you, though. um, what was I gonna say? Oh yes, Moogle Speak. I was going to have a Moogle Speak lately, but I haven't because again, I've been really busy, and I find that I'm not really comfortable in the knowledge that I have for Final Fantasy 14 right now. I find that there's a lot that I don't know, or that I just kind of I've not really done my homework as much as I should have, and there's a lot of videos that are coming out that are cropping up on the YouTube community, and that people are doing fantastic jobs at covering it. Your yours, I didn't say that word. Eorziopedia. No, you know what? They're not even that anymore. They're called. Oh, I changed my browser, so now all my bookmarks are different, but they're called Gamer Escape. Okay, so Gamer Escape, the Final Fantasy 14 version, are covering Final Fantasy 14 pretty well now, the Realm Reborn version. And I believe tomorrow night they're going to have a question and answers, and it's they were lucky enough to get Square Enix to give them the okay to lift the NDA, so they actually will be able to respond to questions about the ongoing beta. Right now, we're in beta 2, and we should start beta 3 sometime soonish. So, and we're speculating that the actual NDA will be lifted soon. This actually is a good segue. The because I am going to talk about non-disclosure agreements, um, because there's just something I was asked something on my last video last week, last Monday, and I didn't really know how to respond because I don't know. It was we'll talk about it when I get to it. But anyway, for Final Fantasy 14, yeah. So if you go to, I'm not really sure where it is. Let me just look it up real quick. But Gamer Escape, they have Gamer Gamer Escape. There it is. They're going to have a guest host, which is has been in the Voices of the Ascended vidcast that we've been doing every Sundays. Well, I'm there sometimes. I haven't been to all of them, but Final Fantasy, there it is. Uh, and this is would be Dr. Mog. He's been involved in that. He has his own website going as well, and he's been doing a wonderful Final Fantasy 14 series on YouTube as well. So look him up on YouTube, and he's got a lot of informative videos on A Realm Reborn, and pretty much a much watch if you're looking forward to Realm Reborn and you have a lot of questions to be answered. Final Fantasy 14. Here we go. I'm just looking for the announcement. Oh, what the heck is this? This is not what I was looking for. It's the Right Radio podcast, which is an excellent podcast if you're into that for Final Fantasy 14. No, okay. Let's just go home there. Oh, there we go. Live. Is that the one? No. Anyway, I know there was an announcement somewhere where I'm just trying to figure out details on where it's going to be, but I'm sure if you go to the Gamer Escape website, which is gamerescape.com, you'll be able to find the information that you need for that to find out when it is. Yeah. So anyway, that's as much as I'm going to give them. Hello. Hello, Cindy. I finally. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so there's someone on in the chat channel here who's been watching the Final Fantasy 14 videos by Dr. Mog, but they're pretty awesome. And that would be I'm sorry, I'm really bad with handles and names. So you are Curian Herman, I think. Probably said that totally wrong. Okay. Yeah, no, don't. I won't mind your spelling mistake if you don't mind me butchering your name. Right? Deal? Okay. All right. Let's see what's in my notes. What's in my notes today? Oh yeah, I was going to talk about disclosure, non-disclosure agreement. So what is a non-disclosure agreement, you ask? So it's a little piece of paper or something, not a piece of paper, usually in the digital age, especially if you are testing a. Oh, it's a manual. A manual. Hello. Yes. Manuel's a very good friend of mine. I see you everywhere. Anyway, and so yes, it's something that you sign. It's an agreement between you and another party that's and you agree to basically not say anything about a beta test or it could be a work contract. It could be all kinds of things. But for this chat, it's eventually obviously going to be about video games and testing them. And anyway, so Final Fantasy 14 is a very strict NDA, and they're taking it very seriously, and there are some very bad repercussions, I guess, or consequences if you breach it. If you post videos that you're not supposed to, or post comments on websites that you're not supposed to, or images or whatever, bad things happen to you. I'm not going to say what, because I myself am under the NDA. So, but anyway, what I'm trying to get to is someone asked me last episode, what did you think of the posting on Massively on when they did that story, I think by Jeff. He posted the NDA break from the Elder Scrolls beta, and there was a link to the video that breached the NDA and all that. Anyway, there was a lot of comments, and there was actually kind of a debate, and there was some people that were really not offended but very surprised that something like that would be posted on a site like Massively. Now, I'm not going to talk about, if it's good or bad or whatever, but basically what I just wanted to say is NDAs are in place for a reason. The reason why video games don't want you to talk about it is because it's not reflective of the final product. And even though you tell people that, things are going to change, probably, there's a lot, especially if you have been in betas, that sometimes that's not always true. And if you're going to publicize, the kind of the warts, I guess, or the bad things, or even the good things, or whatever, you're spoiling it. And what am I getting at? Basically, it can have a very negative impact on how the game will be eventually received when it does launch. And 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 it's really unfortunate because people will build up an idea of what a game is like before it launches. And that's why it's very crucial to keep a tight lid on it, because when you're really excited for a game, you tend to build up a game a little too much. That's what the hype is for. That's they build up on our fantasies and how we want to project our desires and stuff on this product. So and yeah, so with hype we tend to kind of go overboard and fantasize a little too much, and then when the product does release, we're like, oh, it's kind of a letdown. Not always, but often that's what happens with hype. And when it comes to breaches of NDAs, or breaches of betas, it's kind of the other way around, where you get to see the game in before it's pristine light, I guess, before it's polished or ready, and then you kind of form negative opinions, and you're like, oh, well, this game isn't going to be very good. And then when it launches and it's actually those things are fixed or whatever, you still have that made up opinion from before, that that first impression. You basically, that's what it is. You cannot remake a first impression, and with Final Fantasy 14 it's actually exactly doing that, because it's trying to get away from the first launch from 1.0. So it is extremely crucial that the NDA remained like tight, that nothing is breached, right? So it's the thing with the Elder Scrolls, and I'm not really hyped about the Elder Scrolls at all. I'm not invested because I like the single player games as they are. I'm very ambivalent about the MMO, especially considering how Star Wars The Old Republic turned out. Not that it turned out badly, it's a fine game, but it is not exactly what I would have liked. I think anyway. I think it was a letdown for a lot of people, or just not that surprising for a lot of us. So anyway, so I don't want to see the same thing with the Elder Scrolls, but it seems like that's where it's going already. And I basically, what I want to say, the moral of the story is that I wish that that link had not been posted on Massively or any public site like that. Anyway, I'm not gonna judge too much, but yeah, I just want to say that finally, and why it's important to not take part in that kind of stuff. It's like gossip. It's just like gossip, and it can be very destructive, right? So Tiger Hawk saying, yeah, you don't want too many opinions until the finished product is released. Exactly. You don't want too much. But anyway, let's go to the next topic that I have in my handy. See, all week I actually jot down my ideas and stuff on what I want to talk about, so I'm ready. Yeah, good. Okay, gaming in hard times. So I don't know. I was thinking, are video games going through really tough times lately in the last, I don't know, I want to say 3, 4 years, maybe more than that. But I think no, in the last 3 years, it's been really rough ride. I mean, we've seen companies go downhill. We've seen shutdowns of studios. People that have shrunk. I mean, it's hold on. When an MMO is first released, they usually have a whole lot of people working on it, and then the older it gets, you kind of chop down on how many people they need and resources and stuff. And that's normal. That's just how game development is. People get shuffled around or have to go to another game and blah blah blah. That's how it is, right? However, there's been some changes that have been very fast and very drastic, and there's the whole we've seen it change from games that have been subscription, right? About $14 a month or so, $14.99 or lower, um, go from, and that was the norm in massively multiplayer games. I'm talking about MMOs right now. And now we've seen that hybrids and free to play, right, in quotation marks, have kind of taken over, and that's basically the norm now. I mean, really, if you take the balance, that's pretty much the norm, is freemium. Subscription-based only games are kind of, in the extinction side of things. Now, the reason I'm bringing it up, and I know there's been a lot of talk about it in the last 3 years, even because again we've been going through these drastic economical changes. I believe in worldwide, it's been everywhere, not just in North America and or other places, whatever. And it's because what was it again? I think it was on Massively again. I read a lot on Massively. And yes, they were talking about how. Oh, yeah, I remember. That's who it was. It was somebody that brought this up. What's his name? It was a crazy man from. I can't remember his name, but one crazy developer was saying that 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 free to play was gonna die, and that it was the guy from Camelot Unchained, I think, right? And he was involved in Warhammer Online. Anyway, we talked about this on Gamer Hangout, I believe, the last time as well. But yeah, so he was thinking that the next change in gaming, in how we pay for things, is that free to play is going to go and subscription's going to come back. Now, I don't know if that's true. I'm just kind of, I think subscription is going to come back, but I think it's going to be in lower numbers. I don't think we're going to get a flat, $14.99 anymore. I think we're just going to maybe have like $5 a month, or maybe, $10 a month or something like that, and then boosted by a cash shop. Boosted by adventure packs. Like the Secret World, for example, has a very good way of doing things, I think, in that you can play the game for free, or you can play a subscription, and then you have to buy the mission packs. Now, for those of us who are on subscription or are lifetimers, if you paid the lifetime fee, which was like 200 and something dollars, I can't remember how much exactly, and then you get free money every month that you can use towards buying those missions. So you don't actually ever buy those missions, they're given to you. But if you're a free player, or let's say it was a game that you paid $5 a month for, right? Not a whole lot, but and then you'd have to pay for the extra content in like little bits and pieces, not a whole lot. And if you didn't want the extra content, then you don't have to pay for it. Honestly, I think that's more a viable model because people can play around with it more. It's not black and white. It's not you pay or you don't play, right? And so it's like, okay, you can play this amount, but this stuff you're gonna have to pay for later or whatever. It's at your convenience. I'm also thinking of Defiance, Guild Wars and stuff like that. But Defiance right now has also a pretty good system in that. Sorry, question. Okay, I'll talk about that after. But yeah, so basically you pay for the box for Defiance, right? It's like $60 right now. It's gonna go down as the game gets older. And then you go in. There's not that much content. There's about 40 hours of gameplay, as I was mentioning last time, and then or of gameplay of story, right, to go through the RPG aspect. You can shoot things, and there's side missions actually throughout the game that you can do over and over again. So if you just want to go and shoot things like me, it's kind of perfect. And you can also play PvP against other people, and you can play. I play cooperative so I play missions with other people as well, and it's a lot of fun. But anyway, so the way that they get people to pay money for is for things like outfits and extra weapons and weapon packs. And what else do we get? Oh yeah, inventory space. Inventory space has always been a really good way to get people to pay for stuff because everybody needs more inventory at one point, and it's you charge real money for an upgrade as long as it's not an expiring upgrade, because I've seen that in Runes of Magic and in a lot of Korean based or Asian based whatever free to play games where you pay real cash for like and outfits too, and then you're kind of renting them out per month, and I freaking hate that. I know it's like replacements for subscription, but I think if you pay for something you should just have it, and it's not gonna get people to not pay for more shit. No, you're going to be like encouraging them to pay to buy other stuff. You know what I mean? You should keep your cash shop. Your cash shop is basically, if you're going that way, is what you need to be expanding. Again, the Secret World does that very well in that it's every month they keep adding new outfits and they keep adding new pets, new titles, all kinds of stuff that you can pay with real money that, shows Funcom that you want to help them out, that you want to support them, right? And give them money in a certain way, and then you get something tangible, so to speak, digitally tangible, uh, for your trouble. So, anyway, I think that's more the way things are going, in that you pay for cubes, you know, you pay for things in chunks. Somebody was asking me last episode, do I think Final Fantasy 14 will ever end up in that kind of subscription model? And I honestly don't know. I'm not for or against it. I don't really care as long as I get to play the game. For myself, because I'm a huge fan and I want to play Final Fantasy 14 whenever the heck I feel like it, I would always pay a subscription. And I would always expect that game to always have a subscription option, even if it did have a freemium access or something like that. I think it's always going to have the subscription option. And as long as that's there, I'm pretty happy. So, anyway, what else do we have? So, yeah, gaming in hard times. I think it's just everybody's been having a tough time everywhere, and it just shows that that's the kind of economical environment that we're in right now. PlayStation 4, yeah, I basically changed my mind. If you guys have ever caught the PlayStation 4 video that we had at it with Gamer Hangout with Bo, this was like I think a month ago, or whenever the PlayStation 4 was announced. I said that I probably wasn't going to get it when it comes up. Well, I might be changing my mind because I'm actually playing a lot more PlayStation before. Again, when I was going to buy Defiance, I chose to buy it on the PlayStation instead of somebody's out my door. Hold on a second. I'm going to have to take a little break. A bit. Okay, I'm back. That was fast. Yeah. I should have like a little interlude music going. Man, I have to figure how to do that. That'd be so cool. So, oh yeah, so Emmanuel was asking, I never heard of the lifetime pack the MMOs have. Yes, certain MMOs, when they first released, they will give you a limited, usually it's a limited time option, because they can't offer this all the time, to pay a big amount, a big chunk of money right away. So for the Secret World, it was like 200, almost 300, I think, or 250 or something. I can't remember. um, right away, and then you could basically play the game forever until it shuts down. So forever until it wasn't supported anymore. Which is, if you do the math and if you think, okay, so the game is going to be, let's say, running for 5 years, then you're actually saving a whole bunch of money. Especially a game like The Secret World, where it has a cash shop and it has a lot of really cool outfits and stuff that you would want to have. It's a really good deal. Cannot stress how happy I am to be a lifetime member of The Secret World. Even if I don't play it for months or whatever, I keep going in every month to make sure I have all my mission packs, and to make sure that I spend all my free money on outfits and stuff, because I think the free money is actually expires, I believe. Maybe it's not true anymore. They might have changed that. But at the time when I was reading up on it, when they first implemented it, it was expiring every month. So you only had it for like a limited time, and then it was poof gone, and it would kind of recycle. So yeah, so I think it was to make sure that people who weren't gone for a long time, that when they came back, they didn't have like a whole whack load of gold waiting for them, right? So, yeah, I think that's why they do it. But oh, thank you. Yeah, Lifetime was pretty awesome. And then there was also one for Star Trek and Champions, I think, by Cryptic Studios. I believe, I can't remember exactly. I think so. And then Lord of the Rings Online also had the option at one point, which I kind of regret not taking because I did play that game for a long time, like 2 years or a year. No, maybe not 2 years, a year and some. I got pretty. Lord of the Rings Online is actually one of the MMOs where I got the furthest in before just losing interest. So yeah, it was a really good time. It was a beautiful game. Anyway, huh? All right, what was I talking about? What was I talking about? Oh, PlayStation 4. Yeah, so I've been playing a lot of PlayStation 4 also, or PlayStation titles, and I think that's what I'm gonna keep going. I have to figure out a way to capture. That's actually that's the great thing about the PlayStation 4 is capturing in-game screenshots and stuff like that and videos. It should not be a big a problem because it's supposed to come with streaming apps and stuff like that, which is really really exciting for those of us who are on YouTube and who are doing these Twitch videos and all that, and it might actually change how we do things. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. So I might, whenever it comes out, which I'm thinking it's usually around Christmas or whatever, I might either get it right away or get it at least in a year or so. I don't know, but it would definitely be something that I would ask for. Maybe my husband would give it for me. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how our bills are. But definitely. Also, I play most games I choose to play with a freaking gamepad now. My gamepad. I have an Xbox gamepad here for the PC, and I have a Logitech DualShock thing. No, it's not a DualShock. It's a Rumble Pad 2. And I use this. Actually, both of them. I use them with what's it called? That gaming that gamepad software stuff. Where is it? Xpadder. There you go. Yeah, I use Xpadder, and it works and it doesn't work. Been having issues with it when I try to play Guild Wars 2, and it goes crazy anyway, and it stops working, and then I have to reset it all the time. It's just freaking annoying. It does work better in the Secret World. So I have actually been playing the Secret World and Guild Wars 2 with the controller actually. So Guild Wars 2 is trickier because it's not meant, and it's resisting me not meant to be that way, and it's resisting me every step of the way. So I just kind of gave up on Guild Wars 2 because I can't play it with keyboard and mouse and stuff. It's just too painful for my wrists and my hands. So whatever. Whatever. Anyway, what else do we have? Social networks, that's right, better integration. So the PlayStation 4, I believe, is supposed to have better integration of, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and all that stuff. So I'm really, again, very excited for it, and changing my tune on, why I should be getting a PlayStation 4. I think a lot of maybe I'm even thinking that the next Dragon Age, I think is Dragon Age 3, supposed to come out for the PlayStation 4, I think. Which makes me think that the PlayStation 4 is coming out soon-ish, right? It's again December is what I'm thinking, and I think we'll know more at E3. I'm looking forward to E3 as well. See what happens. I'm trying to actually cover E3 more this year through my YouTube channel, and just because I'm actually going to be aware and stuff, and not so like focused on my own little thing. Cause I was really tired last summer. I was just like, ugh, after school. Oh gosh. Anyway, moving on. I have a game that I used to play. That's right, an older game. And that older game was Star Ocean till the end of time. Okay, that's so not. I don't know why I just sang. Oh god, I usually only do this when I'm by myself, not live. Anyway, yeah, I do randomly burst into songs sometimes. Anyway, so I will show you. I don't want to freak myself out, so let's put that over there. I wanted to show you some in-game screenshots of Star Ocean. What is Star Ocean? It is published by Square Enix. Is actually, here we go. Is actually one of the first games that was Squaresoft became Square Enix published. So yeah, and it's kind of a trippy little game. It's really cute. See, I mean, you can see there. This is what it looked like in game. So when it came out, when did it come out? It was like 2002 or 3 or 4, somewhere around there. Oh no, this is like older game. Oh, here you go. 2003, 2004. Yeah, that was right. And so there was pretty good graphics for the time. Here's combat. Yay. And then here's more combat. That's pretty clear. And then it was, you had 3 people you could control, and then yeah, and then I believe it was one of those Square Enix games where it was one of the first games where the monsters were actually on the map or whatever, and you didn't like, when you used to like go around, and then like in Final Fantasy you'd go around like an empty map, and then you'd kind of like jump into a fight, and they would like transport you into an instance kind of thing. Well, that didn't do that. It was one of the first games where you could actually see the monsters around you, and you wouldn't fade into anything. I believe anyway. That's how it was. So yeah, and then all the games became like that. And I remembered when I first played it, it felt really different and really cool. It was one of the first game of its genre, of its time like that, and it kind of changed how we played Square games, really Square Enix games or Squaresoft games, and it was really neat. Now here's this, yeah, pretty neat. It's cool. I don't know if you can find this on the store, on the PlayStation Store, and then download it. You might be able to, but the cool thing about it is really the story. Again, that's its strength. It was one of those games that, yeah, it was for the PlayStation 2. That's right. This was actually the third game. This was not the first game. It was, I believe there was 2 other games before this one. I'm not sure if the other 2 were for the PlayStation 2 or if they were for the PlayStation 1. I think they might have been for the PlayStation 1. But this game is basically reminds me a lot of an anime called Hack. If you know what that is. I don't want to spoil too much, but similar, yeah. And it's a sci-fi, so it's science fiction. It's in space. You get to go through spaceships. It's a little bit like Xenoblade in that sense, or Xenogears, whatever. Did I say that right? Yeah. And yeah. What else am I gonna say? Yeah, it's trippy. And then it's beautiful art though. If you can find it on the PlayStation Network, it's one of those that I remember was a lot of fun. Like the combat is a little bit more, not interactive, but yeah, interactive. It's a little bit more actiony than the traditional Square Enix or Squaresoft, whatever, games were at the time, where everything was very strategic and very, like this is what you, yeah, dot hack. That's what it was. Yes, that's exactly what it reminds me of a lot. And it's science fiction, and it's once you get to the end, you're like, what? It's very, very cool. Highly recommended. Yeah, a lot of fun. One of those games I will always remember fondly. I think next time I will bring Xenoblade. No, not Xenoblade. What am I saying? Xenoblade. What the hell is it called? Xenogears. Anyway, does not matter. I'll bring that other game I'm thinking of. Plus, I've seen the first 2 games of Dot Hack walkthrough. Yeah, yeah. I watched the anime a little bit, and then I went through and read all the walkthroughs too, because I thought it was really, really interesting. Very interesting. That's pretty much it, I think. Everything I wanted to talk about. Oh, what am I reading? Actually, I have something else I'm reading. I'm reading comic books. Yay! comic books. I got Buffy comic books. I've been watching a lot of Buffy lately because I've introduced my daughter to the world of Joss Whedon, but to the world of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And then one of my friends is a huge Buffy buff, and that's right, Buffy buff. And she lent me her like stack of season 8 comic books. So this is what I've been reading. This is Faith. Woo. Anyway, yeah, there we go. It's kind of shiny. Sorry, so shiny. And yeah, so she's got season 8 and part of season 9. And I think there's like 50 no, this one's like, yeah, there's about 50 comics per season. I think, I'm not sure how old season 9 is, but this season 8 is starts, I think, after Angel finishes. If you're familiar with the Angels TV series, I'm gonna take it out of its plastic there so we can see it better. But yeah, there we go. There's Buffy taking her face off. But yeah, it's beautiful. Like the art and stuff is really well done. Here, let me get a better one. Buffy kicking butt! Yay! Yes, you did see Fairy in there, but it's very neat. That's very neat. Yeah, and they have like old ads. So that's when 300 came out, which is kind of cool. But that's what I've been reading lately, and I've been having tons of fun with that. And also trying to remember what happened in the last season of Buffy. Because I was like, what? I only remembered the war, and there was all these slayers everywhere. So, but I don't remember specifics, you know, it's been a long time. Actually, when Buffy first came out, I was not a fan. I kind of rejected Buffy. When I was 13 years old, I believe, 1993. Ooh, I just dated myself. The first movie came out, the Buffy by Joss Whedon, the original, came out, and I freaking loved it. And I loved the actress that played the original Buffy, which was not Michelle Gellar, whatever, Sarah Michelle Gellar. It wasn't her, it was another girl, I can't remember her name. But she was freaking awesome, I thought, and I didn't think that anybody else could be Buffy. So when the Buffy the TV show came out, and there was the Sarah chick, I was like, I don't think so. And I really did not like her, and I couldn't watch it. I watched for like the first 2 or 3 episodes, and I couldn't do it. And then I didn't watch the show for a long time, till about the 6th season, I think. And then I was older by that, and I really liked Anya. She's one of the regular characters, and Willow and Tara and all these people. Xander a little bit, not so much. I was never a big Xander fan, but yeah, definitely those guys I mentioned, Giles. Those were all characters that I really, really loved, so I stuck around for them. Oh, and there was Buffy's little sister too. I can't remember, Dawn too, that I really liked. But yeah. And then I got really into it. Now I just love Buffy. Now I'm rewatching Buffy again with my daughter, and she loves it all. She loves it all. She actually, we started to watch the original movie, and she didn't like it at all. So I think it's a very polarizing experience. You either really like the movie or the TV show or whatever. Most people today probably know the TV show, and the movie though is just like, what is that? But okay, I got comments here. What's going on? You've watched up to season 4 of Buffy, yeah. Good old 1980s to early 1990s era that people lived through in our lifetime. Yeah, well, actually, there's a good, I have a good anecdote on that. A comment that my daughter said when we were watching it, and it's actually Buffy took place during the 1990s. It came out, I think, in 95, 96, somewhere around there. So it's definitely 90s. Anyway, and like all the way to the 2000s, the millennium. But anyway, so in the first season, I think, is the first season of Buffy, Buffy is out looking for Willow, and she can't find Willow, and she's just like going, walking everywhere, trying to find Willow, going to all of Willow's favorite places, the library, her house, whatever, and I can't find her. And then my daughter's like, why don't you just call her on her phone? And I look at her and I'm like, sweetie, we didn't have phones back then. Actually, the only phones that people had, like the digital phones or whatever, were like these big, huge ass phones that only like the FBI had or something. Remember? Or like people with a lot of money, they had these huge ass phones and you can't even fit them in your purse. They're so big, these cell phones. So yeah, it's too funny. I was like, yeah, no. No phones back then. Maybe pagers. Actually, I think we had pagers, and that was kind of the big thing then. But yeah, even then, not everybody had a pager. So that was just so funny because I mean, phones are so commonplace now. Everybody has them. Everybody. All the kids have them. It's just craziness. And yeah, anyway, that's my thing on Buffy. Mer. Okay, so what should we do now? What time is it? It's almost time, guys. I'm actually. Should I play a little bit of Skyrim? Little bit of Skyrim. Maybe I'll show you guys where I'm at, and then that's that's all. That's all I'm gonna show you. But let's get it.